Welcome students to Educational Psychology 2. My name is Mohamed-Ryklief and I'll be the lecturer for this module. I'm so excited to invite you to the beginning of this module for this cluster because we have already worked together on Educational Psychology 1 and now we're going to be building on a lot of work that we've covered already. So I look forward to engaging with you and working with you this cluster. And as always, remember that I'm available if you need additional information or if there's anything you're struggling with. Okay, so let's get started. So this video is really just an overview of this module. And so we begin by looking at the aim of this module. So what is the aim? So the aim firstly for me is to make sure that you've already understood and grasped what we've covered in Educational Psychology 1, because what we're going to continue with in Educational Psychology 2 will build on a lot of your understanding already gained with EdPsych 1. Okay, so you're going to now be able to portray the ability to look at different theories on learning and look at the theoretical framework essentially within the discipline. So you've looked at the theories of educational psychology before, you'd look at the historical development of educational psychology, and now we're going to be applying some of what we've learned. You'll also be able to look at the various perspectives and see how they affect teaching and learning. And then we're going to be looking a little bit more specific at the age 8 to 13, which I don't have here. So we're going to break it down. We're going to be looking at the age of 8 to 13, which is an important age for us to understand. Okay, so then it gets quite exciting. Okay, in terms of the duration of this module will be run from the 27th of January until the 26th of May. I choose the 26th of May because that is the date for your final submission. That being said, there is time thereafter which we call parachute week, and this is for any students that had a challenging time with some assessments and need to do a resubmission. If there's any students who need to improve on their mark, or just for any other marking that I have to complete in order to ensure that you know your mark before you go into your final time or your final week at TOGI when you receive your marks. The module has been structured to allow space for teaching practice time. So when you do leave for your teaching practice, you won't have any work to complete during that time. That being said, I have built in some time before and after the teaching practice where assessments will be open for you, where you need to work on an assessment. You can take a break then for your teaching practice time and then go back to it when you get back, because we do understand that when you're busy with teaching practice, it's a lot to handle and a lot to juggle. I want to remind you that your final submission for the unit is of course your summative assessment, which has to be worked on consistently, because I have not left time at the end for you to focus solely on your summative assessment. Therefore, plan every week if you can, which I know can be quite challenging, to work a little bit on that summative task. The summative task cannot be done at the last minute because your mark will then reflect the time that you've put into your assessment. There will be an expectation for you to work on it as you progress. So this basically just outlines for you what you can expect in terms of time for your module. Okay, so I want to break down a little bit on the topics that we'll be covering for this module. The first of which is the introductory unit, which you are working on now. And basically, this is just some general information, and just for me to be sure that you are really engaging with your module guide, and therefore the quizzes that are accompanying this introductory unit will question you around your module guide and also the general information that has been laid out in the previous video. On to Unit 1, we start with lovely theoretical perspectives. And so the theoretical perspectives we'll be touching on should be familiar to you. We'll be looking at the behavioral, social, cognitive, and constructivist views, and how they affect the way in which we view education and students, the learning of students. So by this time, you should have an understanding of these various perspectives. If not, I would suggest you do some reading and watch some videos on them, because we will need to understand them when completing the assessments and for progressing to the units that follow. So we're going to be looking at the different theories on learning, and so you'll be exposed to the different theories and you'll start to integrating it and looking at the way in which it is included in education. So it's going to be what we spoke about earlier, the theoretical perspectives, but it's going to be a little bit in-depth and it will be a little bit different. And with this unit, you'll be looking to complete an assessment of a quiz and a written task as well, which we'll later outline for you. I'm quite excited about Unit 3. We're going to be looking at the concept of intelligence. What do you understand intelligence to be? Intelligence, I don't want to get into it too much now, but intelligence is interpreted by different people in different ways. So it's going to be exciting for us to really engage with this concept, share our understanding, share what we think it is. And you're going to do this through the medium of multiple choice quiz and also mixed question stars, which means that you could have some true and false, some multiple choice, and some short questions, and even an essay to complete. Another exciting unit for me, multiple intelligences, emotional intelligence, and learning styles. You've touched on this before. We've spoke about it in classroom management, and I'm sure you've done it in other modules as well. And so now we're going to be looking at each of these styles in turn and exactly what they mean, how a student will be able to access information within the classroom according to their learning style. So it's going to get a little bit more practical here, and I'm going to expect you to, in your PowerPoint presentation, bring this to life a little bit and not just have it as quite an academic exercise, but for you to really engage with these learning styles. You'll also be doing a quiz, and the quiz will really test you on the terminology and understanding of these various concepts. And excitingly again, we're going to be ending with Unit 5, which is the knowledge of the development of the child in the age group 8 to 13. So I will just remind you about Educational Psychology 1, where we covered generally the milestones from 0 to 18 years of age, what you can expect, as well as the red flags. Here we're going to be looking particularly at the age 8 to 13. We'll discuss the various levels and development stages that this learner will go through, and we'll discuss why it's important for us to know about these different challenges that learners may be facing. You will be tested or assessed on this unit with a quiz and a written task. Okay, and finally your summative task. Your summative task is due on the 26th of May, and no extensions will be allowed in this regard. You need to work on your summative task as soon as it's uploaded, because it is quite important for us to have a parachute week free for you to ensure that you have all the marks necessary and that all your work is marked and feedback is received. So you'll work on this continually, as we said. The summative task in this regard is going to be a little bit more practical. We're going to try and have you apply some of the information that you've learned as we've gone through the various modules and classes that you've already done. I'd like to bring through all the information that we have shared. I'd like to understand or look into your understanding of the various units, how you view children, what has changed for you in the way you understand the behavior of children, and how educational psychology may or may not have had an impact on the way you think and the way you feel about the various milestones and red flags. So please take this task as something that is a huge learning experience. I know oftentimes we work through tasks just to get them done because that's the only thing we can do because of time, but I hope that this is quite a learning experience for you, something that you can share with others and something that you can keep for yourself. So when you are in the position one day in the classroom, if you are there already, it's something that you can go back to and just give yourself a refresher. In terms of contact sessions, we have less contact sessions before because they are not well attended, but I have made one available to you as an introductory visit. That being said, if you as students feel you'd like further contact sessions, physical contact sessions at the TOGI offices, you are welcome to let me know and I'll make the time to meet with you. Other than that, I've outlined some Zoom sessions that you can attend. They are in your module guide. The dates are available to you. Please attend them if you feel that there's something that you are struggling with. Other than that, you are more than welcome to set up one-on-one time with me. There are various platforms which you can access to contact me. You may email me, you may send me a message on WhatsApp, you can use the Moodle platform, and then we can set up Zoom or Skype meetings or even telephonic if that's better for you. Otherwise, face-to-face is always something that I am available for. Please use these contact sessions. Please use this time to engage with me. Engaging with lecturers really help with student achievement because they allow you to ask the questions you may not be able to articulate via speaking to your classmates or via a messaging platform. I'm also available to students on a more personal level, on a counseling level, so please make use of this if this is something that you feel you need. As always, I'll always remind you about these important points. Be sure to reference all the information properly. Referencing is something that you should be a lot better at now, although I know it's never easy. Please make sure that you are consulting a number of references per assessment task and that you have put your references in the correct structure. Assignments will be returned if referencing is incorrectly done because your academic level does require you to get this right. Please stick to your due dates. We've spoken about contact sessions already. And please extend your sources of information to not only use websites or blogs or web pages. Please also extend this to journal articles which you may find on the website, but they are journal articles. Also use videos and other sources like books as well. It's important for you to widen your net in terms of sources of information because there are some textbooks that might be quite useful to you. There are journal articles that may lead you to information that you haven't seen before. And also journal articles will bring you very relevant and academically sound information. So please be sure to make use of these sources of reference as well. And finally, good luck for this year. I'm so excited for how far you've progressed in your journey. It's very interesting for you to look back and see how far you've come, what you've overcome. Oftentimes, wanting to give up or thinking that it's too much for some of you, and for some of you just kind of plodding along. I'm very excited that you are this far and very proud of your progress, and I hope that this module serves to bring you some kind of excitement and interest as you come closer and closer to the culmination of all of your studies and as it leads you towards graduation. So good luck. I wish you the very best, and I'm very excited to work with you this cluster.